Across the United States, a sinister pattern has emerged. Young men, last seen enjoying a night out, are found dead. Their final resting place? The cold depths of local rivers and lakes. These deaths are often ruled accidental drownings. But what if there's more to the story? What if these aren't accidents at all? The similarities in these cases are too striking to ignore. The victims are overwhelmingly young, college-aged men. They are often last seen at bars or parties, seemingly intoxicated. Their bodies are later discovered in bodies of water, often miles from where they were last seen. Is this a string of tragic accidents, or is something more sinister at play? The victims are united by tragedy. Each one of them has a story that ended too soon, leaving behind a trail of sorrow and unanswered questions. Their lives, once filled with promise and potential, were abruptly cut short, casting a long shadow over their families and communities. They are sons, brothers, and friends whose lives were cut short. These young men were the heartbeats of their families, the ones who brought joy and laughter into their homes. They were the friends who could be counted on for support and camaraderie, the brothers who shared unbreakable bonds. They are the lifeblood of their families and communities, leaving behind a void that can never be filled. Their absence is felt in every corner of their homes, in the silence that follows their laughter, and in the empty seats at family gatherings. The community rallies around their families, offering support and solidarity, but the pain of their loss is a constant companion. Their stories, though unique, share a common thread. Each one is a tale of a life full of dreams and aspirations, abruptly halted by an unforeseen tragedy. These young men had plans for the future, ambitions they were striving to achieve, and relationships they cherished deeply. A night out with friends. It was supposed to be a time of joy and celebration, a break from the daily grind. They gathered to enjoy each other's company, to laugh, to dance, and to create memories that would last a lifetime. A few drinks too many, and then, the abyss. What started as a night of fun took a dark turn. The line between celebration and danger blurred, leading to decisions that would have irreversible consequences. The night that began with laughter ended in tragedy. One such victim, a promising student with a bright future, vanished after a night out celebrating a friend's birthday. He was a young man with dreams of making a difference in the world, a student who excelled in his studies and was loved by his peers. That night, he was surrounded by friends, celebrating the milestones they had achieved together. His body was found days later in a river on the outskirts of town. The discovery sent shockwaves through the community, turning a night of celebration into a period of mourning. The river, once a place of tranquility, became a grim reminder of the fragility of life. The official cause of death? Accidental drowning. The coroner's report provided a clinical explanation, but it did little to ease the pain of those who knew him. The term accidental seemed too simple, too devoid of the complexity of the emotions and circumstances surrounding his death. But his family suspects foul play. They cannot reconcile the idea that he would have wandered off alone, that he would have ended up in the water by accident. Their hearts are heavy with suspicion and doubt, and they seek answers that remain elusive. They refuse to believe he would have wandered so far from the bar or entered the water willingly. Their search for the truth is relentless, driven by love and the need for closure. They question every detail, every piece of evidence, hoping to uncover something that will make sense of the senseless. Their grief is compounded by unanswered questions. Each day without answers is a day of torment, a day where the weight of their loss feels even heavier. They hold on to the hope that one day the truth will come to light, and they will find some semblance of peace. Adding to the mystery is a chilling detail found at many of the crime scenes. Eerie, smiley face graffiti, often spray-painted in black, appears near the locations where the bodies are recovered. Is this a morbid calling card? A twisted message from the perpetrator? Or is it merely a coincidence? The smiley faces vary in their design. Some are crudely drawn, while others are more detailed. Some have exaggerated features like wide grins or demonic eyes. Despite their differences, the recurring presence of these symbols is unsettling. Investigators are left to wonder, are these random acts of vandalism, or are they deliberate markers left by the killers? Section 4, Gannon and Duarte connecting the dots. Retired NYPD detectives Kevin Gannon and Anthony Duarte have dedicated years to investigating these drownings. Their journey began with a single case that seemed suspicious, but as they delved deeper, They uncovered a pattern that was too consistent to ignore. Each case had eerie similarities, from the victim profiles to the circumstances of their deaths. They believe these are not isolated incidents, but the work of a network of killers operating across the country. The detectives have mapped out the locations of these drownings, revealing clusters in various states that suggest a coordinated effort. This map has become a crucial tool in their investigation, helping them to visualize the connections between cases. Their theory, while controversial, has gained traction in recent years. Media coverage has brought their findings to a wider audience, sparking debates and discussions among experts and the public alike. Some dismiss their theory as far-fetched, but others see the logic in their meticulous research and the disturbing patterns they've uncovered. Gannon and Duarte point to the sheer number of drownings, the specific victim profile, which often includes young, athletic men with promising futures, and the circumstances under which they disappeared. These commonalities are too striking to be mere coincidence, according to the detectives, and the presence of the smiley face graffiti as evidence of a coordinated effort. This graffiti, often found near the sites where the bodies are discovered, has become a chilling signature that the detectives believe links the cases together. It's a taunting clue left by the killers, mocking the authorities and challenging them to uncover the truth. They believe the killers are highly organized and methodical, choosing their victims carefully. The detectives theorize that these individuals operate with a level of precision and planning that suggests a deep understanding of law enforcement techniques. They are not impulsive, they are strategic, making it difficult for authorities to catch them, and disposing of their bodies in a way that makes the deaths appear accidental. The killers' methods are designed to mislead investigators, making it seem as though the victims simply drowned by accident. This level of deception requires a sophisticated approach, further supporting the detectives' theory of a coordinated group. Their investigation has uncovered potential links between cases in different states, suggesting that this network of killers spans across the country. By connecting the dots, Gannon and Duarte have revealed a web of crime that is both intricate and alarming. Each new piece of evidence brings them closer to understanding the full scope of this operation, suggesting a level of sophistication and coordination that is deeply troubling. The detectives continue to work tirelessly, driven by the hope that their efforts will eventually lead to justice for the victims and their families. Their dedication and persistence are a testament to their commitment to uncovering the truth, no matter how complex or daunting the task may be. Section 5. The Skeptics Speak. Despite the tireless efforts of Gannon and Duarte, law enforcement agencies remain deeply skeptical. Their skepticism is rooted in a combination of traditional investigative methods and a cautious approach to unverified theories. Many officers and detectives have spent years, if not decades, adhering to established protocols and procedures. They are trained to rely on concrete evidence, witness testimonies, and forensic data. The idea of a coordinated group of killers operating under the radar challenges their fundamental understanding of criminal behavior and investigative work. The FBI, while acknowledging the unusual number of drownings, has not found sufficient evidence to support the existence of a serial killer network. They have conducted extensive reviews of the cases, analyzing patterns and looking for connections. However, the lack of direct evidence, such as DNA or clear witness accounts, makes it difficult for them to endorse the theory. The FBI's stance is that without irrefutable proof, it is premature to conclude that these deaths are the work of a coordinated group. Local police departments often attribute the deaths to alcohol consumption, reckless behavior, or accidental falls into the water. They argue that young men, particularly those in college or recently graduated, are prone to engaging in risky activities, especially when alcohol is involved. These departments have seen numerous cases where a night of heavy drinking leads to tragic accidents. The presence of water bodies near popular nightlife areas only increases the likelihood of such incidents. Skeptics argue that the similarities in the cases can be explained by the fact that young men are statistically more likely to engage in risky behavior while intoxicated. They point to studies and statistics that show a higher incidence of accidents among this demographic. The combination of youth, alcohol, and a sense of invincibility often leads to poor decision-making. In their view, the tragic outcomes are a result of these factors rather than a sinister plot. They point to the lack of forensic evidence linking the cases and the absence of witnesses as reasons to doubt the theory of a coordinated killing spree. Forensic science has advanced significantly, and the expectation is that any coordinated effort would leave behind some traceable evidence. The absence of such evidence is a major sticking point for skeptics. Additionally, the lack of witnesses or credible accounts further complicates the narrative of a coordinated group of killers. However, Gannon and Duarte counter that the killers are adept at covering their tracks and choosing locations where witnesses are unlikely to be present. They argue that the sophistication of the killers' methods is precisely why there is a lack of evidence. The killers are meticulous, ensuring that they leave no trace behind. They select secluded areas, often under the cover of darkness, to carry out their crimes. This level of planning and execution, according to Gannon and Duarte, is what makes the killers so elusive and dangerous. Section 6. Cults, thrill seekers, or something more sinister. Theories abound about the potential motives and identities of the perpetrators. Some speculate that the killings are the work of a cult performing ritualistic sacrifices. Others believe the killers are thrill seekers deriving pleasure from the act of killing and the fear they instill. Another theory suggests the killers are highly intelligent individuals with a deep understanding of forensic science and law enforcement procedures. They are able to exploit weaknesses in the system, making the deaths appear accidental and evading capture. The lack of a clear motive only adds to the mystery and fuels speculation. Section 7. A Nation on Edge. The Smiley Face Killer theory has gripped the nation, sparking fear and paranoia among young people and their families. Parents worry for the safety of their sons, urging them to be vigilant and avoid walking alone at night. The thought of a network of killers operating undetected in communities across the country is a chilling prospect. It challenges our sense of security and makes us question the safety of even the most ordinary activities. The lack of concrete answers and the ongoing debate between investigators and skeptics only heighten the sense of unease and uncertainty.